Let's look at measures of central tendency for our statistics unit. First, start by completing the vocabulary as listed, as you can see. The first term is the mean. The mean is the average of your data. You may remember that previously you were to add your numbers together and divide by how many there are to find the mean. The next term is the word mode. The mode is the data item that occurs the most. Median. The median is the middle value or the average of the middle values. Remember, median kind of sounds like medium, and if you think about it, medium is the middle of something that's small and large. So again, the median is the middle or the average of the middle. The next term you may be a little bit more unfamiliar with. It's called standard deviation. The standard deviation is the average distance of data points from the mean. If you were to take the average distance of the data points, that would give you standard deviation. In order to find that, you would find the distance of each data point from the mean and then take the average. Luckily, our calculator will already do this for us. The next term is the term range. The range is the difference between the greatest and the least values. So you will subtract the smallest from the largest data point. The last term you need to be familiar with is an outlier. An outlier is an extremely large or extremely small data value. An outlier has a large effect on the mean as well as the range. If you are asked to determine whether you should use the mean, median, or mode to describe your data, follow these suggestions. Use the mean when you have a data set that does not have an outlier. The median is suggested when you have a data set that does have an outlier. And the mode is applicable when you have data that's non-numeric, such as favorite ice cream flavor. Different flavors of ice cream are non-numeric. So the mode is what you would use to describe the data because the mode is the ice cream flavor that the most people picked, also known as the most popular item. Now we'll take a look at how to do this on our graphing calculator. As you can see, on your worksheet, you have a data set. This data set represents the scores of 16 students on a math quiz. The first thing you will do is you will enter the data set into your calculator. After you enter your data into your calculator, as you can see for step number 2, you're going to go to Stat, go over to Calc, and see how number 1 is already selected. Simply hit Enter. Hit Enter one more time, or go down to Calculate on your calculator screen, and several pieces of information show up. I'm now going to talk to you about what each of these represent. The first is an X with a bar on top of it. That is your mean of your data. So in this case, the mean of the data is 75.31. The next term is sigma x. That means the total of all your numbers added together. In this case, the total is 1,205. The next term is n. That tells you how many numbers you typed in. The next term says min x. This represents the minimum in your data set, also known as your smallest number. To get to your minimum, you will have to scroll down. As you can see on this screen, you can see min x, which is your minimum, Q1, which is your quartile 1, med, which is your median, Q3, which is your quartile 3, and max x, which is your maximum or largest number. Now record this data onto your paper. Take note that it says on your paper, the calculator will not give you the mode or the range. To find mode, you would have to look at your data set to see which number occurs the most. To find the range, you're going to do the maximum minus the minimum. This is as simple as doing 98 minus 52, which in this case would give you 46. Another data point that's not given to you on the calculator is called the interquartile range. That is quartile 3 minus quartile 1. In this case, you would need to do the quartile 3, which is 83, minus quartile 1, which is 67. So for this data set, the interquartile range is 16. This is your introduction to your vocabulary and how to use your graphing calculator to find measures of central tendency.